everyone. Welcome to Hands On, the podcast for Tri-County Technical Center. I'm Owen Snow. I am your host for today's episode, and today we have a guest. It is Nelson Cole, who is the instructor at Multimedia Production. How is your day going?
It's going pretty well. Thank you very much. How is your day going?
It's going good as well, frankly. So you're the instructor at Multimedia Production, Mr. Cole. How long have you been teaching here?
This is actually my fourth year teaching the program. The first year we were over at the high school. 2 years we were down at the mill in Dexter. And this fourth year we're finally set up, I think, in our permanent home right up here at the Tri-County Tech Center building, where we got a classroom and we got the lab where we are right now recording this podcast.
Yes, it's very nice to have all this extra space with us. So what did you do before you started teaching at TCTC?
Well, I was actually, for a couple of years, I was working at TCTC as an ed tech. I also ran the portfolio program for the school. I did the IT work here at the school while they were getting everything ready to launch a multimedia production program, which they wanted me to do. So I was actually working in education even before TCTC. So I've been probably the last 10 years I've been working in education. The last 4 as the multimedia production instructor.
Is that what you majored in college, or what did you major?
No, actually, I majored I graduated from Syracuse University with a degree in English and textual studies with a minor in history. I took a lot of film classes in college, but I thought I could teach myself filmmaking, which I kind of did. I won a Maine Arts grant, which allowed me to go and take a seminar class in recording location audio. I did that. And I had my own videography business for probably 10 years before I got into education. So I've been pretty much, since I graduated college, 20 something years ago, I've been doing videography work.
Well, honestly, I think that's pretty cool, in my opinion, being able to do your own video work and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was very good preparation for teaching this class.
What kind of skills do you teach your students in multimedia production?
Well, I kind of divide it up into 3 or 4 areas. We learn video production, how to use cameras to take still photographs, but also video. We learn how to use Adobe Premiere to edit our video. And secondly, I like to work with Adobe After Effects to teach animation, motion titles, graphics, and things like that. And this year we've started a little bit with Ableton Live, a digital audio workstation, which I think in the coming years I want to do more. I want to do video production, but also audio production more, which is one of the reasons I thought this was a great idea for our program, podcasting, because it really will teach us a lot of skills in audio production.
Yeah. So you do a lot with videos and cameras. So, but why would a student want to take this program, for say?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. First, I think it's just good to know how media works, because we are saturated in media. We've got screens in front of us, which have been, designed by engineers and programmers, to keep our attention. So it's always good to know how we might be, manipulated in one way or another, just to be conscious of all the media that's around us. Secondly, if you want to go into some kind of creative field, if you want to be a photographer or a filmmaker, if you want to work at a news station, you want to go into radio or sports broadcasting, you want to be go into animation, all those fields would be a natural extension of the skills you learn here in multimedia. We have a lot of tools, and we have a lot of applications for those tools.
Seems like multimedia, it's like there's a variety of things that you actually learn in that you can adapt to what students actually like. Instead, let's say one person likes animation more, say one person likes video more. You can really, like I said, adapt to that kind of environment or what they like.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I do like to do that. I do like to have a built-in flexibility. Like this year, you had the actual idea for this podcast, and I thought that was a great idea. That's where your interest is, and we've got the gear for that. Let's do that. You've got all your certifications. You're Adobe certified in Premiere and After Effects. So I thought this is a great time for a more personalized project. Last year, I had really several musicians. So we did more stuff more for music we had to set up. So I think the first half of the year, first 2/3 of the year, if everybody gets their certifications out of the way, that gives us more time to do something different, and that the students may want to do, like next year, or there may be somebody who really wants to do websites or fly drones. We've got 3 drones in this program. So if I got somebody who really wants to do drone videography, we have that capability. To do that. Yeah,
I agree. There's lots of opportunities for this program and a lot of fun things, that everyone would actually like. I mean, you even got VR, so
yeah, that's
a cool feature.
Yeah, I would like us to get into VR. So if I had a student next year who wanted to get into programming and wanted to learn how to make VR, get your basic stuff out of the way the first half of the year. There's no reason why we couldn't go into, making VR games.
Yeah. So what are some jobs, let's say, that if you take this multimedia program, what kind of jobs would you like go for after this?
There's a lot, hence the name multimedia. So you could go into radio broadcasting. You could go into being a cameraman if you want to be a drone pilot, or a cameraman for a news program, or a cinematographer if you want to be a cameraman for feature films or documentaries. If you wanted to go into animation, you could learn Adobe Animate here, or After Effects. If you wanted to be an independent filmmaker, or if you just wanted to be go into music, we actually have a full set of instruments here. If we had a musician this year, they could have been playing instruments and recording. So really, it's wide open. Anything
Awesome.
you wanted to do, you could probably start out getting some experience in multimedia.
I think that's really awesome. Having all this equipment and all this cool stuff for your students and whatever. Thank you for our time.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
We have a guest with us. Her name is Kansas. She is a student at Multimedia Production. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing good. So, let's move on. What's a typical day look like for Multimedia Production?
We watch videos in the morning, and then we basically do hands-on in the afternoon.
Like, what kind of hands-on work? Like, what do you do in the afternoon besides what's his hands-on work?
We work with audio, cameras, lighting, tripods, music, and all that.
What kind of work would you do with the cameras? Is this like photography? Is this like video? What is this?
It depends. We take pictures, we take video, we take anything we really.
Okay. So you said you watch videos in the morning. What kind of videos? Like, are they studying videos? Are they like videos for fun to watch? Like, what is this?
They're learning videos. They teach us how to use some of the applications we use, like Premiere, Audition, and After Effects.
Sweet. So, why did you choose to take multimedia production in the first place?
Because I thought it would be a good idea, because I could learn more about cameras and to get into learning how to do for my photography work that I want to do in my future.
You want to do photography?
Yep.
Like, what kind? You want your own company? You want to work for someone?
I want to do my own company and maybe hire someone with me. I'm not sure yet, though. I was thinking about doing like prom pictures, wedding, and all kinds of sorts.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Best of luck to you for that if you decide to go through with it, of course. So you say you do a lot of hands-on work for the multimedia production. How is that different than what you usually would do on a regular school day?
So we actually work with cameras and we sit in one classroom all day. But there's a room next to our main room that we use for like a lab area. Where at school we would only sit in the classroom for a certain amount of time and then switch classes every like 40 to 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So, like, is there anything else besides time and sitting in one classroom all day, being the hands-on work?
Don't do really hands-on work. It's mostly like the teacher teaching us
So it's
the work.
lectures, pretty much. Yeah. I'd say that's pretty boring in my opinion. I mean, it's hard for me to focus. You know, I have a pretty low attention span, and you know, talking is not my forte when it comes to learning. I'm more of like a visual learner and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
So, so you're learning how to use cameras, you're learning how to use audio, you're learning how to use the Adobe programs. What is this gonna help? How's this gonna help you in the future by learning all these cameras and all of the programs that you do?
So where I want to go into my photography program, like not program, but in the future, I kind of need to know how to use like lighting sets and using cameras. So I figured it would help me a little bit to know what I need to start my own photography.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's good to know those things, whether that's something you want to do or something you don't want to do. I mean, it's always nice to learn how a camera works, you know, not just doing photography as like a job, but like, let's say as a hobby for say.
Yeah.
So what do you enjoy most about multimedia production? Like, what do you enjoy most about it?
I like working like hands-on mostly. I'm more a visual learner, so like I have to do it like more hands-on, and I think I like doing like the more hands-on work, like working with the cameras, working with lighting, working with audio, and instead of just learning on my computer the whole time in videos.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's great that you get to learn all these things that, you know, most kids don't really have the opportunity to. So yeah, I mean, that's Kansas. She came in for an interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Today I have a former student, Connor. And what is your major what do you do today for school?
So I go to Husson. I just finished my first year of as a freshman, and I major in film production, and I'm mostly at like the NESCOM building doing like filming and stuff and like editing and all that. It's pretty fun. It's something I definitely like to do.
So like, what is NESCOM?
So NESCOM is the New England School for Communications, and basically it like you can do marketing. There's sports journalism. There's film production, as I just said, and there's music production as well, like audio major and audio engineering and stuff like that. So there's basically everything that we provide here, like at TCTC with the multimedia program. So it's kind of like the same thing, but just kind of like boosted up a little bit. And so, yeah, it's really cool.
Is there one popular like program at NESCON that people go and do at NESCON?
I'm not really sure, honestly. I feel like I see, because I don't know, that's a really good question. Whenever like I'm walking about like on campus or something like that, I'll see people with like tripods with cameras on them. So I see like a lot of like filming and stuff, but I guess you can't really see like what's going on inside the building, because like if someone's doing like audio, then they're gonna want to be like inside making the song or something like that. So it's kind of like mixed. I see a lot of people marketing too. Like I know a friend of my girlfriend's, she's really smart. She did this, I forget what she did. She was a marketing major and stuff like that, but she's like going on to do some other stuff, and I know that's a big thing over there. It's all kind of equal in some matter, but yeah.
So how did taking the multimedia program at TCTC help you go into NESCON?
So I really can't I wouldn't be able to go there without coming here first, because working on After Effects and Premiere really boosted that up a lot. Because if I just went into being a film major just blindly pretty much and took the classes that I did, then I would need a lot of help. Because I mean, the edits that we did in the regular projects because I just started out, were kind of simple and stuff, but I would need that extra help on there to really boost up my confidence of what I could do. But since I'm certified in Premiere and After Effects, it kind of really helped out a lot. And yeah.
So if you don't take the multimedia program anywhere at a TCTC, and if you went to NESCON, would you need the certified at NESCON?
No. I remember when I started my Intro to Video Production class, at the beginning of my first semester, I let my teacher know that I was certified, and some other I saw some other students kind of look at me oh my God, that's cool or something like that, because they weren't. So you don't need you just need the basics, really. You don't even need the basics sometimes, because I remember that if you are a solely a NESCOM student, if you're going say for marketing, you would be in that Intro to Video class without a certification. I know a couple people were in the audio engineering class, and they didn't touch Premiere, and they started that and they finished it. So
you don't. Do they help you get the certification?
I'm not really sure if there's a program there or an ability to actually get certified. I don't know, honestly. I'd have to look into that, because it's kind of since they didn't tell me that you had to be, but I don't know. I'd have to ask them that.
And what did you do while you were in the multimedia? And did you do the same stuff you're doing at NESCON, or what?
I'm assuming that I will start doing the same stuff at some point, just because I'm a freshman, or just finished my first year as a freshman. I think the classes that I'm going to be taking next year and next semester are going to really amp up and actually show off what I can do, because in multimedia we were always doing stuff, it seemed and I remember sitting in the old mill when we had class there. I'd have the piano next to me, and I'd be able to play music and stuff there. And then whenever we went out and filmed, we'd film all the time, and we would edit all the time. So it was really fun. And yeah, I'm sure that at some point I'll be able to do all of that and actually get into the motions of it and do it all the time. Because whenever I'm walking around, I actually see my advisor. He's the professor for the lighting class and stuff like that. So there's a whole class dedicated to lighting and stuff like that. I remember one day I saw him, and they had this big white sheet, and they were trying to get a good lighting, and yeah, because there was I think it was just a gloomy day or something like that. But I see people with full dollies and full chest mounts that have the whole stabilization on it and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of stuff that I'll be able to do once I kind of hopefully pass my classes.
So what type of projects are there for NESCON?
There are some bigger projects. Like I said, there's that lighting one. I on one of my last days, just a couple of days ago, for my last semester, I knocked on my advisor's office just to say thank you for the first year and stuff like that, just to talk to him a little bit. And what he was actually doing is he was grading some projects they were trying to replicate a scene. I forget what movie it was, but he mentioned that it was the first LA noir movie. I don't remember what it was called or who directed it, but they were trying to replicate the lighting in those scenes. And I know that a couple of them were sophomores. I forget his name, but he was a past student at Multimedia. I know Mr. Cole would know him. He just got his certification for drone license. Riley Bridges. Yeah, I saw him in the video doing that, so I know that I'm pretty sure he's a sophomore now. Well, he's going to be a junior after the summer. There was also like a lost project, so we had to film something that like, oh, we lost this and we have to go find it. I did it a little bit differently, and I filmed myself by myself in the woods. Like I got lost, so I kind of like changed it up a little bit, but there's a lot of creative freedom and stuff, so.
All right, and thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you.